At Jackson.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Hunter, Dave was on here a second ago saying that you found your curveball around the fourth inning.
Mhm.
Uh, how much were you trying to throw at the first three, and how big of a deal was that to your outing?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few I threw early on, and maybe in the second or third inning that were super high. Then went in the dugout, kind of found a good cue for it, went out there and got a few strikes looking for it. And that's just really big for me because it opens up a lot of pitches. I felt like at some at bats they were on my cutter, and then some at bats they were on my heater. Just having throwing in the changeup there also, just having two other options instead of what my main two pitches are is really big for me.
I think earlier this year you were talking about, like this kind of being a year of firsts for you just because of how little you'd been able to pitch. How big have these last 2 weeks been for you to pitch well opposite their game one starter on a Friday night on the road? Just how big of a stretch do you feel like this has been for you?
I mean, it's awesome to look back and see how far I've came from last year to this year. And it feels really good to just go out there and pitch every weekend and, benefit this team in a good way.
What did you think about that eighth inning that your offense put together?
It was awesome. It was so fun to watch. Before Pompey hit that bomb, I was like, I said something like nobody better, or not too late to have a good day or something like that. And then that same pitch goes yard. So, I mean, it's true. Like 0 for 3, whatever. He has a good pitch and sends it over the fence and ends up being the home run that gives us the runs to win the game.
They had taken a 3-1 lead the half inning earlier. Yeah, I guess it kind of would have been easy to maybe get deflated a little bit, but it probably speaks to there was good energy, good feeling in the dugout to go back and respond the way that you did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've personally felt like, we were down 3-1, but I didn't feel like we were down at all. I feel like the energy in the dugout was that we were winning the game. And then just to go out there and score six in the eighth was really huge for us.
All right.
Jackson, go ahead.
Hey Hunter, yeah, I mean, go ahead, correct me if I'm wrong. It looked like maybe that cutter was a pitch you were really going to with two strikes a lot for either strikeouts or to get soft contact. I mean, how much of a bonus is it to have control of that pitch that you can, you trust it in those two strike situations, even later in the counts as well.
It's huge just to have another pitch to go off my fastball. There's a lot of hitters that sit on fastball, and once I figure that out, or if that's in the scouting report, going to an off-speed pitch that I can command in any count is really big.
You told us what you said to TJ before the home run, but what can you kind of walk us through the reaction in the dugout? I mean, what's that like to double your lead there and finish off a big inning the way you guys did?
Yeah, I didn't say it like personally to TJ. I was in the dugout while he was hitting, and I was just like saying it. And then that same pitch is when he hit the yard, and it was electric in the dugout. We were all super hype and just so fun. It was so fun to just see him because he's been up and down, and we all know how good TJ is, and to see him do that, and hopefully he catches onto it and keeps it going into this weekend. I mean, he's a great player. We all saw it in fall, and we've seen glimpses of it this season. And just after that pump, the dugout was just so electric. It was a lot of fun.
Dave said a couple times recently he wants the veterans at the plate to kind of step up, and I imagine that extends to the pitching staff as well. Even as a guy with not much experience, you're still a junior. I mean, has that been talked about between the coaches, the older guys here? Like, hey, it's up to us to maybe kind of spearhead a turnaround and get this thing rolling.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily been like talked about. I would just say it's kind of just been like a focal point for the older guys, just to set a good example for everybody. I mean, you see Kojo go down 0-2. He's an older guy, and then he hits a home run. So that's a really good sign, really good leadership point for our team. Like they were down 0-2, it's a home run, and then we end up scoring. I think that was the same inning we scored eight, or maybe the inning before. But I mean, yeah, it's just setting a good example through our performances.
Thanks, man.
Matt, you got anything else?
Yeah, two more for me. Looked like in the fifth inning you were struggling with your fastball, kind of pulling it off to your glove side a little bit, and then you got I forget, maybe it was Fowler. I think it was a 3-2 pitch. You got a called third strike on the corner, and then it felt like maybe that reset you a little bit. What do you remember about that sequence?
Yeah, I was looking, right?
Yes.
Strictly looking, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just throughout the whole game, when I lose something or I feel really good on something, especially when I lose it, I can go back to the feels that get me to having that pitch at my best. So I feel like in that moment, my heater was pulling off glove side. I was able to get to the good feel of just staying linear and through the ball instead of trying to throw it a million miles per hour and throw it past their barrel. If I just do my basic mechanics and what I usually feel, it's going to be a strike and it's going to be whatever the hitter's on. So I felt like he was on cutter there. I feel like some of the hitters were on cutter there. So, and I got the looking fastball, so that was good.
You threw 106 pitches against Auburn last week. You said you felt like you could go for another inning. You threw 107 tonight, but it kind of looked, at least on TV, like maybe you're a little bit more tired. Is that fair? Do you feel like you could have gone out for more?
I mean, I always feel like I could have gone out for another inning. I don't really know how my body would do after that, but I mean, I felt fine. I mean, 106 pitches is a lot. I don't really feel like I threw 106 pitches, but my body obviously threw 106 pitches, and it's just kind of like a safe thing to, not throw me out there again
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Hunter.
for sure. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.